Quick anime recap for a couple of Cuckoos. Somehow, 16 years ago, two babies are accidentally switched at birth at a hospital bed. Today, Nagi Yumino is set to meet his biological parents for the first time. On his way there, Nagi sees a girl, Erika Amano, looking like she's about to jump from a bridge and pulls her back. She explains she was recording a video for Inusta, on which she is an internet celebrity, to antagonize her wealthy parents into letting her out of an arranged marriage. After the incident, the two get talking and she wants Nagi to pretend to be her boyfriend. He refuses. So instead, she blackmails him into pretending to be her boyfriend. Erika then brings him shopping for new clothes so they could take pictures together with matching outfits to try and fool her parents. While out in public, several of Erika's fans notice the two together and attempt to beat him up for being her boyfriend. Nagi claps them instead 1v3, revealing that his adopted parents are actually former delinquents, so he knows how to fight. The fighting inspires Erika, so she decides to simply punch her fiancé instead of blackmailing Nagi. She leaves while jokingly saying it's too bad he's not her fiancé. Now late, Nagi rushes to the meeting with his adopted and biological parent to explain that since they don't want to lose the children they have already raised, they instead want them to marry. Enter Erika, who is revealed as the baby with whom Nagi was switched with. Now, she's his official fiancé. She then follows through on her decision earlier and still punches him. The next day, Nagi returns to school and meets Hiro Sagawa, his academic rival and crush, whom he has decided to only confess to once he has beaten her exam scores, as she once told him she would only date a man smarter than herself. Nagi is surprised to hear that Erika wants to visit his home. Once they are alone, he plans to let her know that he's fully committed to someone else. Due to her wealthy upbringing, Erika is completely out of touch with normal life and struggles to believe Nagi's entire family lives in such a small house. She then invites Nagi to her family home, a giant mansion, while also revealing they own 6 similar vacation homes throughout Japan and other countries. After being shown around, Nagi begins to have serious doubts a marriage between them could work and decides he needs to call their engagement off. But before he is able to tell her, she suddenly rejects him first and reveals that she came over to tell his parents what's on her mind. At the restaurant, Nagi's parents fawn over Erika and Nagi panics while Erika visibly becomes more upset. When they insist Erika meet Sachi, her biological sister, she abruptly leaves crying. Nagi then chases after her, where she reveals that his parents are so kind that she couldn't stand to disappoint them by ending the engagement. After reassuring her, the two head back to the family restaurant to have dinner with everyone, but Sachi does not join in. Meanwhile, Sachi covertly adds Erika's chopsticks to their family utensil jug, suggesting she actually liked Erika. When walking her home, Nagi meets her father, also his biological father, who is confident that despite their unusual meeting, they will do well as a married couple. So confident in fact, that to prove it, he has brought them to a house where he insists they live there together for 2 weeks. Sheesh! The two decide to set some boundaries and agree that they won't get involved with each other. With no interruptions, Nagi decides to spend the 2 weeks studying for his next exam to defeat Hiro. Later that night, he hears Erika scream and barges into the bathroom, finding her completely undressed, having been startled by a harmless lizard. Unfortunately, he also freaks out. Without a charger for his phone, Nagi is forced to borrow Erika's study materials in exchange for taking pictures for social media. By accident, they take several pictures that make them look like a real couple, and Nagi then explains he's obsessed with studying so he can help his family out, whereas Erika wants to get famous on the internet, hoping that someone she has been looking for all this time will contact her. At the school, Nagi discovers he has actually defeated Hiro in the pre-exam tests, and Hiro then asks to meet him alone. He expects her to confess now that he's proven he's intelligent enough for her. But instead, she declares she only lost due to missing the exam because of a family funeral. She also says she'll beat him, not only on the next exam, but also in every other school activity from now on. Her competitiveness makes Nagi admire her even more. He then catches a cold and Erika shows up in a nurse cosplay, wanting to take care of him, but he refuses. Eventually, he passes out still trying to study. Erika then gets her chance to look after him and admits his devotion to studying has impressed her. This surprises him as everyone else keeps telling him that he studies too much. On the other hand, Hiro is shown to be pushing herself to the limits so she can beat Nagi. Everyone is shocked once the exam scores are released as Nagi ranks first in the class. The two once again meet on the school rooftop, where Hiro asks Nagi why he was so intense on beating her. He explains that he wanted to confess to her since he knows about her liking guys smarter than herself. She then reminds him that this was the only time he has ever beaten her, whereas she has already beaten him 10 times. Sadly, she also reveals that she's already engaged. While busy thinking about what just happened, Erika enters his room and reminds him that this is their last night living together. Although admittedly they had a fun time, they agree to tell their parents they hated the experience. However, upon arriving back home, Nagi learns his family has moved into a hotel after a pipe has bursted in their home, forcing him to continue unknowingly living with Erika. Sachi is then upset that Nagi won't be coming home and decides to visit the two to meet her real sister. Erika panics, having learned that Sachi is coming over, as Sachi is technically her real sister. The initial meeting is awkward as hell, so to break the ice, Nagi insists they cook dinner together. Erika ends up trying to slice up some cabbage, but she has never cooked and is ignorant of the basics. Meanwhile, Sachi is unfamiliar with the expensive gadgets in Erika's kitchen, so in the end, Nagi ends up doing all the cooking. During dinner, he points out that Erika and Sachi are actually quite alike, so Erika ends up having Sachi try out some of her dresses for her to keep. The two end up bonding together and Erika lets Sachi know that she and Nagi have no intention of going through with the marriage. Sachi then beats up Nagi for making a joke about her new doll-like look, but before she leaves, he takes a picture of the two. At the end of the session, she asks if they can study together every morning, which puts him into a dreamlike state. Later, Erika somehow transfers into his class, explaining she accidentally uploaded one of their fake couple pictures to the internet, causing her to get in trouble. Her all-girls school demanded she attend a disciplinary meeting, but she skipped it due to caring for Nagi during his cold on that day. So, her father transferred her to Nagi's school. She also forbids Nagi from telling anyone at the school that they are engaged. Inside their classroom, due to her being famous, students are afraid to get near her, so instead they crowd around her. Eventually, class rep Hiro approaches her and shows Erika around the school. But Nagi is terrified of what might happen if his fiancé and his crush become close friends. While still stalking the two, he witnesses Hiro start to cry and assumes that Erika might have accidentally said something. So he chooses to finally step in to try and explain that whatever she must have said to make her cry, she didn't really mean it since she's actually a good person. Turns out, she actually was weeping with joy to the fact that she's actually a big fangirl. Hiro then becomes suspicious of the two knowing each other, but they deflect it by acting like he's also a fan. When walking home, Hiro invites Erika to attend her early morning study sessions with Nagi to help her catch up. At home, Nagi admits he confessed to Hiro, which did not go according to plan, so Erika decides to be his wingman. They head to school and accidentally arrive at the same time. Hiro then confronts the two about how close they seem as they were caught by her fighting at the front gates. Luckily, she doesn't think too much about it. At the first study session, Erika excuses herself to the bathroom and comes back literally dressed as Cupid, but her efforts fail anyways. While they're arguing, Hiro makes a comment saying they look good together, and she wishes he's as close to Erika-chan as well. To compensate, she invites herself after school to go to Erika's house. The two then panic and Nagi has to tell Erika to take Hiro to her original mansion, only for Erika and Hiro to arrive at the house unannounced as her mansion is being remodeled. He then attempts to hide all his belongings so it doesn't seem like anyone else has lived at the house. Unfortunately, the obsessive fans Nagi beat up when he first met Erika has found the house and breaks into the garden, forcing Nagi to leave his room to beat them up again. Right before Hiro leaves, she notices Nagi's shrine book and asks why it's here. Erika somehow makes her believe that she accidentally borrowed the wrong book. The next day, Hiro invites her to her home to study, revealing her family manages the local shrine where Nagi is able to collect another shrine stamp. They then meet Hiro's mother, who is less than happy at Nagi's presence. While Erika is away, Hiro explains that when she said she was engaged, she actually meant one day she will inherit the shrine, but phrased it in a way to sound like she had a fiancé to deter Nagi from pursuing her. She suspected that he would probably give up his future plans to run the shrine with her, and she didn't want to place that burden on him.